Yo, what's up, y'all? We're back. Another little video. Gonna talk some more about the divine feminine and masculine energy today and kind of how it plays out. I want to paint the picture a little bit more clearly for people because it can be one of those things where, if you don't understand it fully, it might just come off as like lofty, imaginative, conceptual type of philosophy rather than something that's actually practical and applicable and present. So with this divine feminine and masculine energy that permeates throughout the universe, throughout everything, right? They are the two sides of the same coin that you hear people talk about. That is literally what's going on, the divine feminine and masculine, right? So just like how here in the physical plane, there are different states of matter, right? You got the physical, the liquid, gaseous, and the plasma, right? So the universe is very much similar in that regard as far as like the masculine and the feminine energy and how they play out between one another, right? The masculine leaning more towards the solid, right? Leaning more towards the hard, rigid aspect of the universe, the things that cannot be, they cannot cross paths, right? They each have a certain property to them, which has a certain finiteness in a way, right? We also have the liquid, right? The liquid being the blend of the two, right? It has properties of solid and it has properties of gaseous energy, right? The way that the particles move around and flow between one another, right? And then we have the air, right? The stuff that you can capture in here and everything that exists inside and out of us, right? So, if you're more on the side of the air, if you're familiar with these energies, then you would understand that that's more in the feminine aspect of the universe, right? And the solid is more of the masculine side of the universe, right? Expression, I should say. And how these two things like play in between one another they literally have to do with everything, right? Everything, right? Just like numbers, right? Numbers can be applied to everything, right? But they also stand alone, right? So it's the same thing with these energies, but these energies play out not just here, but in all levels of existence, right? All the different multi-dimensional realities. These factors play, no matter if you're just in a reality where you're literally just a floating spirit and there's no people or no anything, you're still subject to the divine feminine and masculine energy, because the divine feminine and masculine energy is the actual substance of what makes things matter and not matter. You know what I mean? If you can think of what matter is literally everything that is, right? That could be classified as matter, right? Everything that exists within space, your brain, all your nerves, all of the little subtlety, all the little microorganisms, right? All of that is matter, right? All of that is matter. And the space in between is what we would, consider, I guess, not antimatter, but, space, I guess. So these two energies, although they are opposite, they literally exist only due to the other one existing, right? They exist due to the presence of the other one, being present. So you have to look at it like this way. You have to look at it in a way to where it's not just about, why is it got to be masculine and feminine? Why is it got to be man and woman? It's deeper than that. Men and women are expressions of this energy. This energy is not like, we got a man running. There's literally a man inside of everything that is like physical. No, that's not the case. It's literally that there are things that live and things that, it's not things that die, right? It's like everything lives, but there's also the space in between, the living things, right? So, but that also has to be accounted for. So if you think about it, it's the whole, God wrote the code for the whole thing, right? If we're just looking at just one side of the coin, you know, it's easy for us to be like, okay, you know, if you're writing a game, right? Or let's say a picture, right? If you're drawing a picture, it can be the Mona Lisa, right? But the Mona Lisa would not exist without a canvas. No matter what painting you're looking at, no matter what picture you're looking at, no matter what movie you're looking at, no matter what you're looking at, it has to exist upon a form. It has to exist upon a medium, right? There has to be something there in order to hold that space for that experience. That is literally the universe. That is literally the feminine aspect of the universe. So this is just a small like reminder. This is a refresher for y'all to understand and see and overstand beyond just this physical reality how this energy exists and why it exists, and fundamentally what it's here for, and how these two energies play off of each other. The masculine and feminine energy literally are everywhere you look. All of the different expressions of animals, all the different plants, these expressions are show themselves in so many ways, and there's so many like infinite possibilities of how they can kind of mix and mingle and play out in different ways. So that's what this is about, right? The physical form, right, representing the masculine. That's why I mentioned before that the masculine is exalted, right? The masculine energy is kind of, it's exalted, you know, at the in the higher realms, right? That's why they say the man is not the head and not the tail, right? And a lot of times people look at things like, oh, why does the man have to be the one that's the leader? Why does the man have to be the one that's, you know, above? And that's not really what it's about. It can be, I can see why people might take it that way, but it's not really about that at all. It's more so how these two energies play out in the story between the two. That's really all it is. And when I say exalted, it's not to say that, oh, the masculine is exalted because the feminine is not. The feminine is meant to be not discarded or whatever. No, that's not the case at all. It's look at it like Simba, right? Look at it like the baby when they lift up baby Simba, right? He's exalted in the movie, and it's a huge part of the movie, right? He's king, right? The story is called The Lion King. It's not called it's not just about anyone, right? In that movie in particular, I'm not saying that everyone is a Lion King and every male energy is a Lion King, but if you look deeper at the whole story of what's being told here, it's it's life itself, right? He represents life itself, right? He represents the legacy, right? He represents the pride, you know. He represents the whole kingdom, right? Symbolically. And it's not to say that the female doesn't, but the fact of who he is the feminine energies, like baby, right? Like, you know, if you look at it like a mother and her baby, her young, she's gonna put her life on the line for that young, right? She's gonna fight tooth and nail for that baby, right? And so that baby is her most precious thing, right? That's why it's exalted, because it is so precious. I'm not saying that every man is the most precious thing in the universe. No, I'm saying the masculine energy in itself, the story in and of itself, is a very precious thing to behold and to appreciate. Why? Because it represents a certain promise. Life itself is what all of this is built for, right? Life itself is what all of these energies are struggling for, are working so hard to make happen and continue, right? So life itself, as you know, comes to an end. All life comes to an end, you know? And that's represents the masculine energy, the light, the life, right? The thing that you can actually see, the thing that's going to turn off one day, right? I'm not saying there's not feminine. There is feminine energy that exists due to this, but I'm saying on a deeper scale, on a deep rooted scale, as far as when we're just talking about, you know, zeros and ones here. We're talking about what the one represents. That's what the masculine energy represents. Not just male, you know what I mean? Not just human males. We have to kind of get, you know, some people have unlocked their cosmic mind. Some of us are, you know, I'm trying to help y'all understand that there's more to the picture without, you know, taking y'all on a crazy trip visually. But so if y'all understand, if y'all are with me, if y'all are rocking with me, y'all understand what I'm saying. So I don't have to kind of beat this concept into y'all's understanding a little bit. But he is exalted because, like I said, life comes with death, right? Life does not last forever. Life is the product of existence, right? So just like a mother's young is her thing, it's like a diamond, right? What a diamond is to a woman, right? It's exalted, right? The woman loves diamonds, right? She loves looking at it. She loves seeing it. Wow, this is amazing. Oh, I love to have diamonds on me, right? So it's exalted. It's not to say that this diamond is worth more than a woman. It's not to say that the woman is nothing compared to this diamond. It's exalted. Even she exalts them. You know what I mean? So that's what the masculine energy represents. It represents that light of the world. It represents that aspect that the promise works, that everything works, that what we can see, what we can experience in front of us, life itself, it works. Existence is here, and it continues and it's thriving. That's what the baby represents, and also that's what we are, right? All of us, we are all that baby, whether you're masculine or feminine, carrying this form in and of itself is the representation of that promise of the universe, of existence. The reason that you can even exist is because the universe is working, because of all the generations of seeds that grew up into apple trees and came down and were able to feed your ancestors and kept it going and going and going and going, and for all of us to be here. So think about that. Think about your form, right? Your form comes to an end. The end of your body has an end. You know what I mean? Like your body has a certain form. Like if I scrape myself or if I cut myself, my body's gonna reshape itself. It's gonna heal itself back to its original form. It's not gonna, if I slice my arm, it's not gonna grow back in a different shape or color, or it's not programmed to come up with a new arm. It comes up with the same arm that I have. You know what I mean? So there's certain programming, there's a certain code, there's a certain system to the universe. And what we are representations of that. We are like living relics of the promise of infinity, right? Of forever, of the universe. If you think of it, just think about it. Because we come to an end. Life, we come to an end. All of us, in this form, we come to an end, right? So with that being said, that's why we're exalted. That's why we're exalted, because we come to an end. Life eventually ends for everything. This planet, these trees, me, all these animals, everything that's moving around me will come to an end. And that's why it's exalted, because it doesn't last forever. And in the grand scheme of things, these things go by so fast, So we have to appreciate life, and we have to understand also that the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy itself, is also to be respected, because when it's working like it's supposed to be, things, when things work, it's hard to find something to complain about. You know what I mean? Like when you're not sick, it's easy to take it for granted. But then when you are sick, then you're like, no wonder. You know what I mean? Like, not being sick is already a blessing. You know what I'm saying? What we already have to begin with is already a blessing. We're just the ones that mess up, if that makes sense. So, y'all, be mindful, be aware. Try to, even if I hope y'all understood everything. I really do hope y'all understood everything that's in this video, because I will talk more about this stuff, but as I'm getting back into making these videos, I'll try to make sure that they're easy to understand, even if you're not somebody who understands these kind of concepts. You know what I mean? I don't want it to come off like, oh wait, what was I even talking about? Or what was he talking about? Or what did I even get from this? I hope that I really do understand a little bit more about how the feminine and the masculine energy operate and permeate throughout the universe. It's like the zeros and the ones of the whole entire universe, from here all the way above and all the way below, like all of it, right? We just have to understand these things, and we have to also appreciate how we are playing these roles. We have to understand that as a male, I'm getting the opportunity to play the role of the cosmic man, the whole shebang, the him, you know what I mean? And same thing with the women. Y'all have to understand that you are inherently the cosmic woman, the infinite female, not just human. I'm talking about through all existence, all creatures, all things. You carry that. You are an embodiment of that divine feminine, if you understand what I'm saying. And like what I'm saying as males, we are the embodiment of that whole divine essence of the light, of the one, of the thing that holds that ground, that holds that space, that comes here and that you know, shines and then also dies and leaves a legacy and so forth, you know. And and as far as the women, like the feminine energy, the thing that never dies, the thing that's always existed since the beginning of it, is literally the mystery of the universe, you know. Y'all, the females, y'all hold that, y'all carry that, y'all are the embodiments of the question of where did God come from. Y'all are literally the answer of that. You know what I mean? The answer of that literally exists inside of you, and you exist because that there is an answer to that. It's amazing. Think about it, and try to ask God and see how it can unveil itself more, so that way you can appreciate who you are and appreciate the women in your life. You know, appreciate the men in your life a little bit more. Respect us and respect each other and respect yourselves. Anyways, I hope y'all got something out of this. Love y'all, whoever you are, wherever you are, however you are. Take care, and I'll see y'all soon.